Okay, I am live. Think so, at least. Mm. I'm checking my own audio. It sounds perfect, honestly. I'm like 10 seconds ahead of you guys. Let's see how it sounds. Checking my own audio. It sounds perfect, honestly. Boom. Audio is perfect. I'm here. I'm just gonna post this on my Instagram, and then we'll get going. So if you're watching this as like a replay or whatever, just skip ahead maybe like a minute or two. Start posting your questions in here, and I'll get to them. Could be personal questions, obviously anything to do with meeting and seducing beautiful women, dating more high quality women, passport bro lifestyle, networking. Shit, you can even ask about my fucking hair transplant for all I care. Just gonna say that I'm live now, and then we'll get started. Camera. Right. Thanks for coming. How many we got here? 8 people? Or will come in. All right, let me just add the link. Okay. How about this new microphone, boys, eh? Fucking sick ass quality, huh? Boom. Okay, I've just reposted the link in the story. Um yeah, exactly. Right here on the chat. If you guys have any questions, go for it. Alex, you had a question about relationships or something, right? You wanted to know about what's it called? Like open the traditional like red pill stuff. Anyway, I don't see any questions yet. Best okay, so got one here. Based pill clips, best South America and European countries for game and social circle. All right, so let's start with South America. So the top countries for game and social circle. Mexico has a good network. Mexico City has one of the strongest networks. I know personally a lot of cool guys out there, and it just has a reputation for attracting a lot of people in Mexico City. However, the issue with Mexico City is that it's world renowned for having some of the butt ugliest girls ever. Period. When I was there, I mean, I could go days without seeing an attractive girl. Now, if you're in a top nightclub, if you've been there and you really, really know what you're doing, sure, you can find some quality girls in the top nightclubs, most exclusive places. But Mexico City is just more or less just trash for meeting women. It is what it is. Now, I've heard that a lot of Venezuelans and Colombians are flooding in there. So cool. That could maybe breathe some new life in terms of better options. But those girls are going to be stuck up. They're going to look around and say, "Oh shit, I'm more beautiful than every other girl here, than all the locals." And anytime you have an environment where there's not very many pretty women, the few pretty girls that are there tend to get their nose stuck up. However, it has an amazing network. It has a very high English speaking rate, amazing food, but let's just keep it 100. They're just fat. They're just some of the fattest human beings you'll ever see. I've been to Nebraska, and they're quite a bit fatter than that. Colombia is good for networking and stuff like that. I would probably stay away from Medellin or Medellin. Like if you just want to smack a bunch of easy hoes, that's cool. Medellin's good for that. They're all addicted to 2C. They're all doing webcam work, and they all just kind of want money. And make no mistake about it, they only want your money, and they will all eventually ask you for money. But hey, I mean, it's a pretty honest exchange, right? You can try to take them out, take them to a couple nice dinners, try to get it in before they outright start demanding money on a strictly pay for play basis. And there's a huge network of like Americans out there. Brazil has absolutely zero network of Americans, like virtually none. Rio has some expats. There's very, very few in Sao Paulo, at least ones that I've encountered. And I've never been to Peru. I've barely been in Ecuador, but like Argentina has almost no foreigner advantage whatsoever, so I wouldn't really do much in Argentina. Everyone that I've ever talked to that they go down there, they're like, dating is not any easier in Argentina than it is back home. There's like zero gringo advantage. They're super stuck up, especially the really, really beautiful girls. When I go to dating markets now, I never judge anymore. Like, well, how easy is it to pull an average girl? Because like let's say even a country like Brazil, right? If you want to go after like very average women, like the average girls in America still think they're nines and tens. If you want to get a bunch of average chicks in Brazil, super super easy. But I don't judge dating markets on like that because I'm a superficial fuck and I only want like the top beautiful girls. So especially if you're going after the top beautiful girls, Argentina wouldn't be much better. Uh, Someone's gonna get mad at me for saying this, for not gatekeeping this, but I've heard Paraguay is golden, just no network. And as far as social circle, I'm assuming you meant like other expats and stuff like that, or do you mean building a social circle with the locals? Uh, again, Mexico City, maybe a few other, maybe Guadalajara or Guadalajara, however you pronounce it. Maybe Cali in Colombia. Definitely not Barranquilla. Definitely Medellin would have a lot of foreigners. There's none in Brazil. Trying to think what other countries. Middle America, like Nicaragua, Honduras, Salvador is completely untapped. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Venezuela's empty. Um, I'll move on from that question, but I think I did a pretty good job. Based pill clips. If I miss anything, you can come back to that. But to be honest, I've only done Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil. I've technically done Ecuador. Oh, Costa Rica, I forgot. Oh, dude, Costa Rica's fire. A lot of foreigners. It's a lot of like old retirees. It may not be like the coolest dudes, and the girls are super cute, man. They're not like this like insane percentage of like beautiful girls like Colombia, Venezuela, but they're mad cute. And Costa Rica gets slept on these days. But Costa Rica is awesome, stable government, good country, and for the most part, good people and higher IQ. So yeah, definitely check out. Wow, that's the first place I ever went overseas practically. Can't believe I almost passed up Costa Rica. So yeah, definitely check out Costa Rica. Very, very, very good vibes there. All right, we got another question. Jade says, appreciate your content, bro. Question: outside of the concept of Colombian women are unburdened by deep thoughts, what is the difference between Colombian and Brazilian women? Very curious here. So I have a whole video about this, and I'm actually going to come out with like a refurbished, like a newer one. But the long and short of it is that Colombian women on average are a lot more beautiful. There's just something in the water. There's something in the gene pool there. They're just like incredibly, incredibly beautiful, but they're very, very primitive, bro, for the most part. And not only should I say like all Colombians and all Colombian men are very primitive mentally, the ones that will date gringos. So if you want to tell me, oh, that's not true, there's so many professional women, there's orthodontists and whatever, and lawyers and smart, intelligent Colombian women. Cool, but what do I care if there's these smart, sophisticated English speaking women that want nothing to do with me or any foreigner for that matter? When I say Colombian, right? Again, I guess I am stigmatizing more like Medellin and other places it might be better. I would check out like Barranquilla, but again, like overall, what you're going to find is this: because of the extreme lack of competition from local guys, any girl who has her head on straight, which most of the girls don't have their head on straight, but any of the few percentage of girls that do have their head on straight, they're next to a foreigner, there's no way that a Colombian man could compete with you. The vast majority, they're going to be short, broke, have a very weird, effeminate affect. They hit women. They're not loyal. They're short, broke. Did I mention that? Not good looking. They don't work out. So any foreigner is going to be the opposite of that, right? Taller, better looking, treat the woman better. But again, they do tend to be brainwashed in certain cities like Medellin to kind of like stick to their own kind and not date foreigners, and foreigners are bad. So overall, Brazil is going to present a much greater degree of difficulty, much fewer beautiful women on average. Now, Brazil's a massive country, and some of the most beautiful women in the world come from Brazil, but it's going to present a much greater challenge overall. However, it's going to be a lot more rewarding if you can get the girls out. If you can get a true Brazilian 8.5 out on a date, or even a 7.5, 7.5s are beautiful. If you can get them out on a date, generally speaking, for the most of them, especially in a city like Sao Paulo and Rio, other cities maybe not so much, but especially Sao Paulo, Rio, almost guaranteed she's going to speak a little bit of English or understand just a little bit at the very least, maybe kind of speak some. She's going to have great values. She's never going to ask you for money. She may only show up when you invite her on out to nice dates, nice dinner dates, nice restaurants, expensive places, but she's never going to outright ask you for money. She's going to be outgoing, social, fun, grateful. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Brazilian women. The only bad is that like it's just not one of these places where they're just all gorgeous and they're all beautiful and they all line up for gringos. You have insane competition from the local guys. The local guys got money. They're tall. They're good looking. They work out. It's an expensive country. They're not super impressed with gringos. It's more difficult. So you got to kind of weigh the options. Are you, J-Day, ask yourself, you don't have to say it in the chat, but like, are you out of shape and older? With low confidence, maybe go to an easier market. Can you compete in that top, 1%? Do you have a sick social media? Do you have sick in-person game? Are you tall? Are you good looking? In that case, hands down would be Brazil. And maybe you can get the best of both worlds by going to the smaller cities in Brazil. The competition in a city like Goiânia or Belém, or I'm saying it wrong, Paraná. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But these types of places, you'd have a lot of girls where you could take advantage and cash on your gringo wow factor. But again, just to summarize, Brazil, a lot more difficult, a lot more rewarding, a lot fewer percentage-wise, fewer hot girls, and they're harder to get, harder to find. Colombia, way more beautiful women on average, way more primitive and dumb, and a lot poorer values on average. And that's mostly speaking of Medellin and maybe Cali. I wouldn't put that on Bogota. I wouldn't say the women in Bogota have bad, sex vibes, sex workery values. I'd put that more on Medellin. GS, what do you think of John Anthony and his belief on, and do you believe his leg count? I have no opinion on the guy. I mean, what do I care? I know all he does is really make hit piece videos, and I don't, if you have anything nice to say about somebody, don't say it at all. I don't even really want to discuss him. What are your thoughts on red pill and feminism? I don't know what you mean. Also, red pill changes depending on who you ask, bro. When Morpheus offered Neo the red pill or the blue pill, he offered him the truth. Like the choices were, do you want the truth? You take the red pill. Do you want to go back to sleep and have your eyes closed and wake up in the matrix every day and not see reality? Take the blue pill. So I don't see, like, people in Brazil, they call red pill rede pill. Rede pill. That's how you would say red pill with a Portuguese accent. Rede pill. They think it means like all the stuff like women over 30 are, not nearly as desirable anymore. Don't date single moms. Almost kind of like an anti-woman movement, which is not really anti-woman. It's just being very pragmatic and honest. Most guys don't want, a woman with a lot of mileage on them. But for me, red pill is just the truth. And I just see it as like, kind of like the antidote to feminism. Feminism teaches you lies. It says, all men are bad. All men are out to assault a woman the second they could get her alone in privacy, and there's no witnesses. All men are just out there looking to assault women, and no one will believe the woman's story afterwards. And men are magically somehow paid more, even though any two employees of the same company can just compare their paychecks and disprove it. But somehow men are paid more, and men are oppressors. And I see this red pill is kind of the truth. Like, no, wait, hold on. Women don't live these horribly oppressed lives. As a matter of fact, they want to go to the south of France. They want to be on a yacht. They want to go to this nightclub. They want bottle service. They generally get what they want. So that's what I see about red pill and feminism. I see red pill as kind of the antidote and kind of waking men up. I just see it as like a movement of truth more than anything. Okay, next one. Alex, I don't know how you say, is it Ruel or Ruel? I don't know how you pronounce that. How do I start producing content for my Instagram, considering I don't have access to a photographer? So if you buy my course, I teach you how to do this even without a photographer. So the 80-20 of this is simple things, right? Understanding how to put this. I'm going to have a whole video about this. How can I condense this? I mean, you want to, I think you're in one of my courses, right? If you're not, I don't know what to tell you, watch my other YouTube videos, but find luxurious locations on Instagram, go there with a friend, get the clip-on LED phone light. I don't have one on me, but it is, I've showed it off in so many videos. Go to any electronics website or Amazon website and just search for LED clip-on phone light. You'll get amazing photos at nighttime. Getting good daylight in the getting good lighting on a photo in the daytime is a little bit tricky if you're a total amateur, because depending on the time of day, you could have harsh top-down lighting coming onto your face. If you're indoors and you're by a window, you're generally good. So I would say these are like little hacks. Indoors by a window, you'll have good lighting for like indoor restaurants or I don't know, hotels or whatever. Rooftop lounges, you can do photos at sunset when the sun has just started going down, also called golden hour, and use your clip-on LED phone light to get sick photos. Little things like telling your friend, hey, when they take the photos, take a shitload, like, and then count down to 3. So like, rather than just be like, okay, ready, take the photo. Did you get it? Did you take it? Just sit there and have them go 1, 2, 3, snap, 1, 2, 3, snap, 1, 2, 3, snap, and have them continually snap photos and do one like this. Then look past the camera, then smile, then do one like try like a little expression. And like, you'll probably hate how most of them come out. And then maybe do one where like you're faking buttoning up your shirt, or you're faking adjusting your collar, or you're kind of like this, you're like taking up space, you're like this. So I would just be like 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. I'd make myself laugh. Like as he's counting 1, 2, I'd go, I would just make myself laugh or something to try to get like a genuine smile. So telling him to count down before, having him take that's honestly the name of the game, is taking a freaking shitload of photos so that you'll probably end up liking like a few of them. Dress well, be in luxurious locations. And if you have any other follow-up questions on that, let's see, I'm thinking of producing charming video content, and I like to go to Japan instead of staying in Canada. Oh, I thought you were French. Okay, are you in like Quebec, Montreal, or whatever? What's the French part of Canada called? If you're gonna go to Japan, make it in Japanese, and you can even make little cuts. But yeah, make your charming content native to that language you're in. How's Japan dating market? If you know anything about this, so I am not the expert on Japan. From what I know about it, is they're great, very docile, very feminine, very submissive women. However, they can be a little bit shy and unwilling to go out with foreigners some of the time. Again, that's just my understanding. I repeat, I'm not an expert at this, but I've heard that from some people. They can be, quite timid. And I think when you go there, it's a similar thing like when you go to Medellin, where you've just got to immediately accept that 80% of women will not date a foreigner, and you're just going after the 20% that will. Versus a place like Brazil, probably 70% are open to dating a foreigner, or 60% or something like that. And anywhere you go, most of the women are just going to want to date their own kind. It is what it is. But I'm not the expert. David Bond had some old courses about Japan. I don't think you can even find them anymore. I think John from Modern Life Dating is there. I'm not into Asian chicks, so it's not my thing. What's a good price to charge each guy for the parties? Is $500 too much? It depends what you're offering, and it depends who the guys are. If you could find, and here's the thing, like you probably want to get at the very least, 10 guys, because if you're shooting for at better minimum 25, 30 girls, which you need at least 30, 40 people for it to be a vibe, for it to be like, a proper party. And so if you're going to get 25 to 30 girls, you want at least 10 guys. If you can get 10 guys to pay $500, my hat's off to you. I don't know what kind of weird universe, what kind of whack, trash, garbage simulation we're living in, where I could go to a guy in Medellin, Brazil, anywhere, and say, well, let's go back to Medellin, where I had the most experience doing this, and tell the guy, giving you a chance to finally meet the few women in this city that like gringos, that are hot, that are not sex workers. 70 to 80% verified will not be sex workers. Yes, some prostitutes will sneak past. I'm not perfect, but I'm providing a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio with an open bar, all the coolest, most red pill cool, my personal network of cool people that I vetted. Every single person who has come to this party has gotten at least on a 25, 30-minute phone call with me. It's all cool, verified guys. We have security. We're in a penthouse. beautiful women, 3 or 4 to 1 ratio. Like I said, open bar, and the vast majority of women will not be sex workers. And I could not get guys to pay $200. That was like, and then it was like tough to like try to like sell friends on the idea. And what's the word? Yeah, you never wanna get into a thing where you're, like, selling friends or almost getting, and then I would get, like, irritated when they would, like, flake at the very last minute or say they're coming and then, not send their money or complain that they wanted to, like, pay at the door, not understanding that, like, Jesus, do you have any idea how, difficult all this is to coordinate? And you don't want, like, I need money, like, 10 days to a week in advance, or then they don't show up and they want, like, a refund. People are pretty lame when it comes to paying for parties and stuff like that. To me, it's like a no-brainer. $200 to like fill up my calendar with leads of women, like fresh, hot, non-sex workery, beautiful women as like my new leads for a fucking month, because it's a 3-to-1 ratio party. So they're all going to be super eager to talk to me. And like I said, the majority are not sex worker. It's like the bet. I couldn't even think, like, if I had a cancerous tumor and I had $200 to my name, and it was $200 to remove the tumor, I would go to the party and leave the tumor. Like, I can't think of anything better to spend my money. So $500 is probably asking a lot, and most guys won't pay. Um, I would go more for like 200. But I don't know, maybe your friends are just cooler than mine, but I really had trouble selling people on that. Where do I start, or how do I build a cool, intriguing, high value, quality, high status, mysterious social media to get famous and rich and attract tons of 9s and 10s? I'm not sure if this is a serious question. Number one, forget the word mysterious. Mysterious is like cope for people who want to like maintain privacy and have a private account. You're not as interesting as you think you are. No one's spying on you. No one cares if you have a private account. And the best way to build an intriguing, high quality, high status Instagram, I mean, dude, literally every YouTube video I have and every course I put out is on this subject. But if I was to give a quick rundown again, make cool friends. I guess we could have a whole, separate master class on that, but find a network and, friends of friends, and do whatever you can to network with people who are like-minded and want to do this with you, and do dope shit and document it. That's literally it. That's literally fucking it. Hey guys, do you want to go to a shooting range this weekend? Hey guys, do you want to go surfing this weekend? Hey guys, do you want to get the jet skis out this weekend? Hey guys, do you want to go on a yacht this weekend? Bowling, I don't know, fucking anything. Anything. Do you guys want to go on a cool hike this weekend? Do you guys want to do a boxing class? Do you guys want to go to take a trip to Bangkok and stay at this great condo with a great rooftop and all these pools and all these amenities, and travel through Bangkok on motorbikes? Just get cool friends that want to do that shit and document it. Just say, hey, like, let's be like these people on YouTube who, live for a living, like, Jack Hopkins, if you guys know that YouTuber, guys who just, they live dope lives and they document it, and, find like-minded guys with the same goal who also want cool social medias. Maybe convince your friends, like, hey, I know this very average guy who has a fucked up hairline, and he's out there in Brazil, Colombia, dating, 8.5s and 9s, like anything. And I've seen him do it, and it's all thanks to, like, the cool lifestyle and the great photography he has in his photos. And if we just, went out and did cool shit and kind of documented and made videos, took photos, we would be set. Hire photographers once in a while, hire videographers once in a while. And yeah, JM2. Look, we got 23 people live, so I don't think we're blowing up the spot too much. But yeah, Paraguay is a hidden gem. Shout out to Austin Holloman. He put me onto Paraguay, and he said it's just completely untapped, friendly women, beautiful women. The women are mestiza, which I'm not even sure what that word means, but I think it means a mixture of like white Spanish and like the local, more brown indigenous. And they're beautiful. They love foreigners. They don't have, a sex worky, I don't know, bad culture like certain other places like Colombia. And again, 23 people watch this. Wow, who cares? There's another question. I also know some IG growth tactics for regular Instagram marketing. Any tips on making money as a promoter, throwing events to get paid, and generally getting paid from Instagram game? these are only going to work as far as I know in the really, really big cities around the world. You're talking your like, your New Yorks, your Los Angeleses, your Miamis, maybe Chicago, stuff like that. As far as Canada, I know you're Canadian now, Toronto, perhaps, somewhere in Vancouver. And look, these guys sell a service, right? They sell pussy, they sell hot girls, they sell an environment where there's beautiful girls. And if you bring the beautiful girls, that brings the clients. You could also just meet the clients. I was never really an expert when I was a club promoter at meeting the clients. That's of course where the real money is, right? You bring a bunch of hot girls, you have access, you may get a promoter table, you could definitely get paid. You could definitely get paid really well for bringing super hot girls to these venues. You can run Instagram ads to find them. You can get 3 or 4 Instagram accounts, um, message 15 girls per day per account, 4 accounts. That's 60 messages a day at a 10% response rate. You got 6 leads. Say 2 or 3 of those leads manifest into meeting up with you. So you're meeting 1 to 2 new girls per day, 5 days a week. Adds up over 2 months. You've got a pretty big Rolodex of girls. You could steal random other promoters, footage of them at bottle service or footage of yachts or footage of that to build up your Instagram. So to just steal other people's content so you can kind of look the part as you're still up and coming. And then of course, again, I'm not the best at like meeting rich guys who like to waste money on bottle service, but I am kind of an expert at meeting girls. And like I said, that's what I'd have 4 Instagrams. I'd have a virtual assistant. I would buy my own course. I would train, buy the course and then send it to the virtual assistant and have them, know how to find hot girls on Instagram because that's what my course teaches, how to find hot girls on Instagram. And I'd have them go out and start, just bombarding every hot girl. I'd make sure I was in a big city so I never ran out of volume. I would post a lot. I would steal other people's content, and that's what I would do. The attractive Mexican are not in Mexico City. Yeah, correct. They're in Sinaloa, Durango, Sonora, and Aguascalientes. All the beauty pageant winners are from those states. Yes, agreed. I already knew about Sinaloa. I guess I'm surprised you didn't mention Jalisco. Maybe that was just whatever. Maybe you whatever. You just forgot. But yeah, Jalisco, right? That's where Guadalajara is. That's the state or whatever, Jalisco. But yeah, Sinaloa, Sonora. I knew about those. I never heard of Durango or Aguascalientes. But yeah, Mexico is one of those countries where, how to put this, much like United States, right? You could have the people in South Florida look very different than the people in Alaska, look very different than the people in Compton, right? You could have very different ethnic features based on region. Based on the region, Mexico is a country like that. So exactly like what he said is on point. These cities are known to have the quote unquote like the good genetics, at least in terms of like physical beauty, where the hot girls would be. And yeah, Mexico City, it's basically like a barren wasteland for hot girls. Now you get hot girls from other parts of Mexico that came there. Apparently, it's flooded with Venezuelans and Chileans. I don't know about Chileans so much, but definitely Venezuelans and some Colombians. And those are the ones you want to look out for because, yeah, I mean, they're just fat. They're just all obese. They're just literally all fat. Every single person in Mexico City is fat. Just fat as fuck, and it's disgusting and it's shameful. Other than that, I would love Mexico City, and it's also very high altitude. I don't know, it's like higher than Denver, Colorado. It's one of the highest altitude cities in the world. So it's one of those cities where like you get gas and out of breath for you do 2 sets of squats and you're like out of breath. And I don't like it. Like I can't fuck as much as I want to. Like my cardio gives out in the middle of fucking when you're not used to that altitude. That's actually another thing I don't like. Whatever happened between you and the Ms. Brazilian girl you put in your old video, how I pulled a 10 from Instagram. Yeah, that's Lana. What happened with Lana? Long story short, I kept the relationship. It was never really defined as like a relationship, but it was just kind of understood that she was going to kind of keep anything she was doing on the low and not do a whole lot. And I was going to be in Colombia smashing everything. And one day I was going to go to Brazil, and I just waited too long. And shocking, this comes as a shocker, but Brazilian tens that are lawyers and intelligent and beautiful and speak English and have good values I'm not the only guy who wants them. She met another rich dude, and I kept it long distance for too long, and I kept stringing her along and not formally committing to her. And long story short, she just met some other rich dude that started taking her to Ibiza and stuff. And of course, I'm not gonna be anybody sloppy seconds after that. And it was more of a distance thing that killed it, and me not pulling the trigger. And she's a great girl, but I'm not gonna get any personal reasons. But I didn't see long term potential with her anyway, for reasons I don't want to say publicly. But she's a great girl. Would you say, yeah, Base Pill Clips asks, would you say an American black guy would have an advantage in Europe since there isn't many black men there? It's all very country dependent. Generally, the more exotic and different you are in a country, the better you'll do. Now, of course, you go to a country like Korea and they hate anybody who isn't Korean, right? Or you go to, I don't know, even like Medellin, right? Like there's just certain cities or regions where like they just very much like stick to their own. Black men are notoriously famous for doing well in the Nordic regions, right? So Denmark, Finland, Sweden. I think Finland is untapped for black guys. I mean, I'm sure some passport bros have figured out Finland. I think the capital is like Helsinki, right? Something like that. Helsinki. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. But I would say even like a second or third tier city, because any black guy is like, oh, let's go to Helsinki or whatever it is. I think even like a yeah, second tier or third tier city in Finland would just be like for the taking as a black guy. And I verified from my sources that they do well there. But like you say Europe, right? Like Europe's diverse. Do you mean Belgium? Do you mean the Czech Republic? You know, what country in Europe do you mean? But I would say overall, yes, you'd probably get treated like royalty in most countries in Europe. AB asks, Tinder/Bumble apps, do you think they shadow ban you if reset your account using the same number? Do you recommend resetting your account through a different number and change pictures also? Good question. It hasn't happened to me yet, and I've reset on the same phone number many times. I reset once a month. I would hazard a guess that if you're resetting more often than once a month, it probably behooves you or benefits you to use a different device or a different phone number. There's a website called textverified.com. Textverified.com. What if I can post a comment? I can leave a comment myself. Yeah, I'll post textverified.com. You can rent out phone numbers, like a unique phone number for $8 a month. I just put it in the chat, by the way, textverified.com. And you can get a new phone number. They're still going to link, you know, your same Apple, like your App Store account, your Apple ID, or your Google Play account. At the end of the day, they're probably going to know it's you. So I don't know how much, you know, oh, I got a new phone number and a new credit card. Capital One lets you make unlimited virtual credit cards, like one-time use virtual credit cards, which is a life hack, by the way, for any subscription service, because you can just nuke the card. You can just go log in and delete the card, and then they can't bill you anymore, because obviously so many companies, they make it so hard to cancel, right, on purpose so they can keep billing you. It's a scam. But look, do it once a month, same phone number, same accounts, and just don't worry about it. I've done it like 20 times at this point. Again, just about one a month. And look, you know, I have one lying around. I don't know shit where it's at. It's somewhere in my room. I just got one. I have other cell phones, bro. You can get a phone, a Google Pixel 5. This is beyond most guys what you're willing to do, but there's a specific phone called a Google Pixel. If it's a 5 or above, you can install this operating system called Graphene OS. It's like a privacy version of Android that has all the Google tracking bullshit removed. You can create multiple user profiles. You could have 5 Tinder accounts on 5 different user profiles that can never link back to the same device ID. Using this, you can run shit in cloud VPS service if you want to get really, really nerdy of this. But I mean, like if you're super, I don't want to say like desperate, but like motivated to find like a wifey, and you're like a full out wifey search like I am, yeah, I would get a second cell phone, a second email, a second Apple ID, a second this and that. And I would, you know, reset them constantly, especially if you got the money. Like, dude, all things considered, if you're a guy who makes over 100 grand a year, over 200 grand a year and above, for you to have like an extra, you know, I mean, between virtual assistants, boosts, super likes, you know, resetting the apps, um, an extra $1,200 to $1,500 a month girlfriend or wifey finding budget, and you did that for 10 months and then you found like the perfect girl to make babies with and share your DNA with and to cherish and hold forever, would it not be worth that like 12 to 15 grand? Like any guy who makes over 100K a year, fuck, guys who make a lot less. If I said, hey, just give me 10 grand and I'll give you your wife and the mother of your kids, and she'll be the ideal look that you wanted. She'll be the ideal personality, feminine, submissive, no tattoos, no history of drugs, no history of mental illness, Latina, fat ass, under 25. Bro, I'd pay that in a heart. I'd go into debt to do that. What are your thoughts on Canada? Yeah, fucking sucks for dating. Nice people, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, very very socialist, very communist. I haven't dated in Canada a lot, but yeah, my thoughts is that it's just probably like another US, and it just fucking sucks. Very, I would say like probably for the most part very masculine women. Unless maybe in the French part, was it Quebec? They're more traditional. I don't know. What's the best location in the world for a light-skinned man to go to game? When you say light skinned, do you mean like actually light skinned, or do you mean a light skinned black guy? I don't know the answer. So yeah, specify what you mean. Do you mean like actually light skinned, or do you mean like a black light skinned guy? Hey, Case, I'm planning a trip to Brazil and I want to stay there 2 weeks. What do you recommend? Ooh, good question. I like Sao Paulo. I would say start aggressively using Tinder. And I had this app called Inner Circle. You may need a VPN or something to make an account there. It may be a bitch, it may be a hassle, but whatever. Contact me if you have trouble. I can maybe figure something out for you. But the best dating app is called Inner Circle. It doesn't have a lot of volume, but in the big cities it does. Like Rio, Sao Paulo, there's pretty good volume on Inner Circle, and the girls a lot more serious and a lot more motivated and a lot less ghosty. The girls on Tinder are hotter. There's always the hottest on Tinder, but they're always like the dumbest and the most like prone to ghosting. And Rio's cool. It's just dangerous, and the women aren't as sophisticated as the ones in Sao Paulo. But Rio's a great, great choice. I do love that city. As far as like hotness of the girls, it's actually pretty equal. People think Rio has hotter girls, and sometimes you just get that perception because like you're on the beach and on a sunny, hot day in the summer, you can see them all naked, and it gives a perception that there's more hot girls than there are. But if you're just walking on a normal part of Rio, that's like not the beach. The girls aren't any better than what you see in Sao Paulo, and I can even argue that Sao Paulo has hotter girls. But again, Brazil's just difficult, man. And like, it just really depends on your standards. But if I only had 2 weeks in Sao Paulo, again, I guess if I was like starting with fresh Tinder accounts, fresh Bumble, top of the algorithm, maybe even buying some boosts, meeting a lot of girls on Instagram. I had my virtual online dating assistant there for 2 weeks. I could probably do some damage in 2 weeks, but my perceptions are always a little bit different because at this point, I'm really only going for girls that are true 7.5s and 8s and above. I'm actually looking for 9s and 10s because these are the type of girls like the physical beauty that I know I would never get tired of, and a wife. Ideally, I could fuck my wife for, 15, 20 years and never get tired of her. I know I'm going to need a super beautiful woman for me not to get tired of her. These are the type of women that I can make content with that you fucking idiots won't like roast in the chat. If I went on a date with like a legitimate, like cute 6.5, even a 7, bro, the comments would like never let me out alive. Yeah, so I'd say Sao Paulo or Rio. The North, here's the thing. The North is probably your best bet for like easy layups though, and like probably the most beautiful girls and the easiest would be like the North, but they'd be the most primitive as well. They wouldn't be the most like the sophisticated, intelligent, more likely to be English speaking ones in Sao Paulo. But I'd say, know what you want. If you want the hottest girls and the biggest advantage, the North, Belém, anywhere in the north of Brazil that's near Belém, Belem, Belém. It's pronounced Belen, like as if it was an N. Belen, Belém. Floripa, Florianopolis, if you want like white girls. Sao Paulo, if you want the most sophisticated girls. Rio, if you want to get robbed. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I don't know about playing with fire black pilled. I've never heard. Elaborate on that. I have no idea what you mean about That's a friend of mine, Alex. I don't know. Yeah, explain. Please explain what you mean by that. I'm part French Canadian, yeah, and Hispanic. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. When or where are your next parties, bro? As soon as I have a decent network, I got this down to a science. I've done, I don't know, 35 or 40 parties in my life, something like that, maybe a few more. And I've had like one or two flops out of like 30 or 35. And like I learned from my mistakes. I know why they were flops. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go, but I need a network. I need 4 grand, whether that's 10 guys paying $400, 20 guys paying $200. That's actually a more ideal scenario because I want more guys to be there. Pause, no homo. But I want more guys to be there to entertain the girls. As soon as I have a network, man, show me 20 people in like a dope Latin American city that are willing to pay up, and I'll throw a party. Alex, again, is it Rule? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Asks, is it even worth staying in Canada? I'm down to get the course. I just don't know if I'm wasting my time making a personal brand in Canada or English market in general. So the thing about your brand, why not just have like several Instagrams, right? I go to this service called Proton Mail, proton.me. You can get 10 email accounts for $5. So that's what, 50 cents per email account. It's like ridiculously cheap. So 50 cents per email account. You never get locked out of it. You can always log in. They don't do like weird 2-factor authentication. Make an Instagram account for each email. And when you do your funny, charming videos, when you set up and you have the tripod there and you have your script and you're saying it, and you're working on your delivery. First of all, your goal isn't to be an influencer. You're not trying to come up with like the craziest, most unique, funny videos. You're just trying to make some cool shit there so that when an 8.5 or a 9 lands on your page, she goes, oh, this guy's not a weirdo. Oh, this guy's actually funny. Oh, this guy actually has a good personality. He's charismatic. He has good comedic timing. He can tell a story and make the punchline hit when the punchline is supposed to hit. That's all it's supposed to do. So most of the humor will be very general. And if you get it from my course, yeah, it is extremely general. It can be translated into any language. I'll show shit. I just hope I can share the audio of this. You guys can let me. Well, either way, listen. You guys will see the words on the screen. Let me. It's gonna play choppy. You know what? I'll do it anyway. This may play choppy, and it may. I can share. I can present a video file. Let me try. Let me just do that. Let me just try to see. I may kill the stream, but I'm about to hit share. Share video file. Let's see what happens. Okay, if I break the chat, I break the stream. Never done this before.
Alexa, how's the weather today?
Who is Alexa?
Oh, sorry. Siri.
Seriously? Who's Alexa?
Nobody. Forget about it. Can you just tell me, please, what's the weather going to be like today?
Why don't you ask that bitch Alexa to tell you the weather?
Oh my God, Alexa. Siri. Siri.
Fuck you.
Okay, cool. Wow, that was interesting. It for some reason it played that clip at like 1.5 speed at the beginning, and then it played it at like normal speed. But anyway, put some ones in the chat if you saw that video clip actually was like good, if it wasn't choppy, if the audio came through. It came through for me, but like that hilarious little interaction, that little clip, that could be in any language. That could be in French, that could be in Spanish, that could be in Portuguese. Like when I set out to record my shit for the day, I would just do it in all 3 languages and have my English, my Spanish. I have an English account, which I don't use for dating, a Red Pill account, which you guys all follow, a Spanish account, which I don't use that much, but I should start. Oh, fuck. I got to start uploading. Yeah, that reminds me. I got to start uploading to that one. Shit. And a Portuguese. Actually, I have 3 Portuguese accounts because I'm going to start looking for a wife, and I'm going to get 3 different online dating virtual assistants. And just like, I want to have kids by the time I'm 40, and I'm taking this shit very, very fucking seriously. So, yeah, that's about what's about to happen. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Damien Rochester, hey Casey, I'm about to make an Instagram. Any tips of where the hell to start? Yeah, make it look exactly like this one. I'll actually present now. Share screen, entire screen, share. Yeah, it's like Smitty. Yeah, Smitty 3300. I built this one. He's one of the few guys that actually let me like build his Instagram and then show it off as a testimonial, which is kind of ridiculous that very few people will let me do it. But yeah, do dope shit. Bring your clip-on LED light. Get an iPhone 14, 15, or a Galaxy 23, 24 Ultra, so it has a nice camera. Shoot in RAW mode. Figure out what I just said. Google like how to shoot cell phone in RAW mode, like, or get a photographer or get someone who knows about photography to even shoot on your cell phone in RAW mode. Go to luxurious locations. Have your friends take a shitload of photos of you. Yeah, like, look, it's not that complicated. I mean, it is and it isn't, right? We have busy lives. We're not all made of money. Like, I guess sitting from where I'm sitting, I make it sound a little bit easier than what it is. Like, yeah, you can't just like rent out a seminar room, go there with some fake slides, fill it with 15 of your friends so you look like you're giving a speech. I get that. Depending on how much money you have, bro, like I'll just build a whole fucking thing for you. We can talk about that. But dress well. I mean, I have courses about this. I'm just like, dress well, do dope shit, coordinate this. Like, I have a whole like step by step exactly like how this is done. Like, what brands of shoes, fashion, how to put together an outfit, how to pose, how to shoot in RAW, how to get perfect lighting, where to go, how to get people in the photo shoots with you, how to hire and vet a photographer, how to edit them and touch them up. Like I did this. This is one thing you guys got to worry or well, what's the word? Like alleviate some of your fears is if I go to what is it? Alleviate some of your fears is that when you do your photo shoots, even if you feel awkward, and I ran this as a service, nobody really wanted it, which is shocking yet not shocking. But like these are all the same people. This is all edited with AI, and I teach this, in my course. I mean, the easy answer is download FaceApp and learn basic Photoshop stuff as well. If you want to do the body stuff, you got to use Photoshop. FaceApp can't really it can make your arms bigger and your chest more defined and bigger, but it can't give you abs, or nor can it fill in your hair. So there's certain things only Photoshop can do. But one thing is like, don't worry about if you weren't making like the best expression. If you're like, oh no, like I wasn't smiling properly in the photos, and like, oh, I look like cold and unfriendly and chubby. AI can do that too. But again, this is like what my whole channel is about. This is what all my courses are about. I can't really teach a whole course on the fly, but that's where I would start is like, yeah, get nice clothes, get a nice cell phone camera, buy the clip-on LED phone light, go to nice luxurious restaurants, rooftop lounges, hotels, pools, jet skis, yachts with your friends. Find like-minded friends who also want to do this. Take a whole bunch of photos of each other. Should I start being an influencer? Alex asks again. Should I start being an influencer or micro-influencer in Canada and move on to other markets after? Sure, man. But again, I don't think you're going to be happy. I don't think you're going to like love dating in Canada. Like I just don't see like you pulling a lot of hot bitches in Canada, nor like myself. Like I don't see anybody who isn't like ultra tall and wealthy and good looking really having. It also just depends what you're looking for. Again, let me pause. I want to date like the Instagram models, the absolute tippy top girls. A lot of you guys are just okay with like, cute girls, girl next door type, average looking girls. In that case, I guess, Canada would be fine. But you're always going to do better overseas. How do we find great photographers in our area to shoot the types of visuals that you are talking about? Also, if I want to buy a great camera myself, which ones would you recommend? Okay, to your first question. How do you find great photographers in our area? The two places that have been the best for me is a website called Snapper. Sorry, there's three. Snapper.com, SNAPPR. This is like a network of photographers. You can say, hey, I'm looking for a photographer in XYZ city that specializes in, you know, dating app photography or portraits, right? So Snapper can be a pretty good resource. Oh, I'm not showing my screen. Whoops. Doesn't matter. I didn't really need to share my screen for that anyway. SNAPPR. Snap R. Snap R, Snapper, whatever you want to call it, like snapping photos is good. Facebook groups are surprisingly powerful. The thing about photographers, which really irked me, is that they're terrible business people and they're terrible at getting back to you. So I could go to, I don't know, XYZ source, Google, Instagram, message a whole bunch of photographers. Most of them, unless you want like a $10,000 wedding job, most of them won't get back to you. And they'll want like ridiculous rates, like, you know, $200 an hour, something ridiculous, if it's the US. But you know, message a lot. I would just type in, you know, photographer city into Instagram, you know, photographer Austin. If I was in a big city, I would type in dating app photography in this city. But then again, anybody who markets himself as a dating app photographer is going to maybe want to add like a bit of premium extra price on that. But hey, it could be worth it. But yeah, I would just say this: go to Instagram, you know, professional photographer, Austin, Texas. Photographers, Austin, Texas. Type that into Instagram. Type that into Google. Do a Facebook group. You know, Austin or Dallas. Let's just do Dallas. Dallas, Texas photographers. Join any major city has Facebook groups for photographers in that city. Dallas, Boston, even a small city will have a community of photographers on Facebook. Message the hell out of everybody and say, hey, you know, I want an Instagram profile that looks like that guy we just showed, you know, Smitty. This is not to win an art project. As a matter of fact, a lot of these, you know, chic hotels, rooftop lounges, etc., won't even let me bring a digital camera. We're going to have to shoot these on a cell phone. We're going to have to shoot them in RAW. Have you shot RAW on a cell phone? Are you familiar with that? You know, if we downloaded, you know, the app to shoot in RAW, because on Samsung Galaxy, you have to download an app to shoot in RAW. You know, can you handle that? You know, can you edit the photos? Do you also edit? Do you do Lightroom? And just see who gives you the best vibe. That's what I just contact a shitload. Expect that most of them will flake and won't get back to you. Find them on Facebook groups. Find them on Snapper. Find them on Instagram. Explain that this is for dating and it's a bit different. Explain that a lot of it will be cell phone photography, and then schedule them. And a lot of it's going to come down to how well you coach them and how, like, are you comfortable on the photo shoot? Are you giving genuine smiles? Are you posing well? Did you show up well groomed? Did you choose the proper locations? Are you, like I said, are you smiling genuinely? Are you having fun on the day of? You know, the photographer in theory should help with all that. Should help you feel comfortable. Should say off the wall stuff and damn near reach out and start, I don't know, fucking tickling you to make you laugh and get a, you know, a genuine smile. Say ridiculous shit. Say off the wall, you know, racist shit. Just anything. Just like shocking, bizarre stuff. Talking about, I don't know, intimacy with animals. You know, who knows? The most random. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable because it's supposed to, like, what did he just say? Like, and you like diffuse the tension. They're supposed to do that in theory, but a lot of it depends on you. And pretty much any photographer, the value of, like, why you would pay me a premium or a guy like Justin Harder, if you know these people, is because they're going to set up like with the venue, the fashion. They're going to evaluate all the photos and choose the best ones from the hundreds or thousands they take. They're going to provide girls and social proof shots. He's going to have access to rooftop lounges where he can shoot with professional photography. He's going to know the best restaurants. He's going to have done this before. He knows, okay, at this time of day, the sun's going to be here and I have, you know, golden hour, so I can get this shot there. But if you research all that yourself, and again, it's all in my courses. Also, if I want to buy a great camera for myself, which one would you buy? I'm a fan of Sony. Look, there's Nikon, there's Canon. I'm a Sony guy. I like Sony just because I picked up a Sony once upon a time. I think the newest one, I'll just Google. It's like Sony. It's like the Sony Alpha. Sony Alpha A7. I think there's even. I think the top one is Sony Alpha 7. There's like a Sony. Yeah, okay. So the Sony Alpha 7 series is like the top digital cameras now. I think I'm looking at one now. Sony Alpha 7 IV. There's a Sony Alpha 2, a Sony Alpha 7 I, Sony Alpha 7 II, all the way up to like 4 or 5 now, I guess. I guess the higher numbers, the more. Yeah, I think there's a 5 now. So Sony A7 something 2, 3, 4, 5, depending how much money you have. Those are going to be amazing cameras. So as 18-year-old young attractive who has a deep interest in all this stuff, where do I start? I feel like I'm repeating a lot of the same stuff. Find like-minded friends and dress well, look for photographers, split budgets. I would say, the best thing, and this has been the hardest thing for me because expats, expatriates are very weird people. And I don't have nearly the network. And even it's just weird. Some of my friends get this, some of my friends don't. And it has been hard, struggle to be like, yo, motherfucker, let's make a plan, let's do dope shit, and let's just document it. That's what I would say is be a leader, make a WhatsApp group, say, hey, who's down? Again, bro, shooting range, jet skis, rooftop lounge, nice restaurant, any type of body of water, the beach. The beach, it's actually hard to get good photos at the beach. That's something I don't want to get into right now. So forget the beach. But if you wear sunglasses, it can be good for your social proof shots. You're not going to get a good portrait of your face unless you really know what you're doing. Because the beach, you got light, a whole crazy lighting situation. But yeah, just find like-minded guys, do dope shit, document it. Buy my courses where I go super nerdy in depth and I teach you exactly, how to do this. No, Evan, a better question would be, how do I start taking content from Instagram as a guy in town? Okay, cool. Yo, Casey, me and Alex are dating coaches. How can we get on your level and crush this market together? Cool. I didn't know you guys were dating coaches. That's awesome. How can you get to my level and crush it? I mean, make great content, say something new in an edgy, polarizing way. Go about as far as you can without the algorithm banning you. Talk with conviction. Make a shitload of helpful free content. Don't rehash the same material that RSD has been saying for years. Don't be a parrot. Have a new angle on it. My new shit was, no one, as far as I know, no one really approached online dating as a digital marketer. Maybe that guy, he had a product called Unlimited Options, Jesse from Simple Pickup. He perhaps did do a lot of the stuff that I did, right? Oh shit, am I still live? My shit froze for me. I'm gonna check on YouTube. Okay, my screen is frozen, but I think it's still working for you guys, so that's cool. I'll just continue. Put some ones in the chat. My shit is frozen, but it's working on YouTube, I believe. I think it's my Google Chrome. Shit. It's working. Okay. YouTube, I believe. All right, so this is going to be really interesting because my Google Chrome just froze, and I'll have to. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to mute my phone. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. Yeah, my entire Google Chrome thing that this was in froze. Okay, what was I saying? All right, at any point, just start dropping 2s in the chat, or we can't hear you, or you're frozen. Yeah, my face is, fuck. You guys are seeing me frozen on there, right? It's you can hear me, but my face is just frozen on the stream, huh? Yeah, you can hear. Fuck. Let me try to fix this, guys. I may have to restart the stream. Yeah, I know you can hear me. All right, I'll just start answering questions. I'm bad at multitasking. I'm gonna try to fix the stream as a answer questions. So we'll do the best that we can. Of course, this would happen. I'm the first person to really take a digital marketing approach to this. Multiple Instagrams, ads, online dating, virtual assistants, And then the charming, funny video content. That's the thing that like, if you schmucks were to just like, listen to me and do this stuff, it would change your life. And no one is, talking about this, and everyone's going to try to steal it from me. But that's going to be one of the biggest ROIs on your time is making these funny videos. Camera may have overheated. It's a webcam, and I'm right in front of a window. But whatever. Anyway, I'm going to move on from the next question here. Sorry, I'm very distracted by the fact that you know what? Oh, fuck. Add it again. Okay, it fucking is frozen. Let me try switching webcam. Sorry, if I can't figure this out, then we'll just make this an audio only thing, and I'll stop bitching. I'm going to change webcams. Okay, yeah, maybe it was a webcam overheating. Okay, yeah, shout out to whoever said that. I think it should work in a second. Let's see. Okay, great. So yeah, it was a problem with the webcam. So shout out to whoever said that. All right, let me just go on to the next question here. I'm from Europe, and the answer is no. Okay, sorry, wait, hold on. Okay, Arjun says, any insight on South Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, India? No, I don't know any of that market. Maybe like Philippines. Yeah, Philippines was good. Filipino women they're much like Latinas. I mean, they basically are. They're like Latinas of Asia, I guess, right? Yeah, I really, really do like Filipino women a lot. They're feminine. They really, really treat their men well, and high English speaking rate. It's just, again, like the average girl in the Philippines, I wouldn't say is like, highly attractive, at least, and for my taste. Hard to find really, really attractive girls. Do you can still think Gilgamesh says, do you think you can still find a good girlfriend in Colombia? I'm thinking outside of Medellin. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Just stay the hell away. Stay as far away from Medellin as possible. Webcam models, hookers, 2C, drugs. They're just in general not, very, very terrible vows. I would say Bogota, believe it or not. Barranquilla. And then I would just like Google, like on Wikipedia, like what are the top cities in Colombia? And I would skip like the top 10 and go for like 11, 12, 13, like Ibagué, I think is one, Sincelejo, just these random like cities that are like, 20th largest city, 19th largest city, 18th largest city. And yeah, you could still go there. But look, dude, Colombians in general are just very, very low IQ. And I would just go to like Mexico or Brazil, or a country where just somebody's like, smarter. If you're looking for a girlfriend, you could find an exception there, though. That's true enough. Evan, I'm not a dating coach. I love. Okay. Okay. So Suleiman says good places to find Venezuelan girls outside of Venezuela. So I love Venezuelan women, and I love this question because I was thinking the same, and I've talked to a couple other passport bros. I would say they're tied. Yeah, I do love I may even like them more than Brazilian, honestly. But whether it's Brazilian or Venezuelan, whoever I give the crown to, they're my two favorite. And I had a Venezuelan girlfriend, and they are amazing women. So the best places that I know that I've heard of to find Venezuelan women outside of Venezuela would be Chile and Mexico. Specifically, I believe Mexico City. Remember, we were talking about this earlier, how Mexico City doesn't have very good quality, but the Venezuelans and Colombians there would be your best bet. But there's a shitload in Chile, so I would go to Chile. How much do you charge for a one-on-one? It's $500 for an hour. But look, if you like 2 hours, I'll give you like my course as well. Like we'll talk. If you want to get like 2 hours of coaching. I'll throw in like my top tier, like free digital course as well, and maybe some other goodies. So if you're actually like serious, message me on Instagram. Colombia, Peru, Chile, Miami / Orlando, Ecuador, Spain, Brazil, Argentina. Oh, I guess he's answering, yeah, where to find them. Yeah, sorry. This is the most obvious one. There's a ton in Colombia. Yeah, there's a ton in, I guess, Medellin. The problem with Medellin is like, there's a lot more girls from Medellin than there are girls not from Medellin. But yeah, I guess, okay, boom. I mentioned Chile. Yeah, I was thinking Miami or Orlando as well specifically, but I didn't say them because of, what's it called? I don't think people want to go to the US. Spain, yeah, okay. Brazil, I have not met a single one. The only time I met Venezuelans is when I went to the police station to get my fingerprints taken, to send to the FBI, to get my visa, which is like a normal process. Everyone does that. I saw Venezuelans there, like refugees, but I would never be out at a bar or club or on Tinder and like meet a Venezuelan in Brazil. Maybe they're there. I just haven't met them in Sao Paulo. Argentina, also didn't meet any, but whatever. Why'd you choose Brazil after Colombia? I've talked about this a lot. I've addressed this a lot, so I'll make it very, very quick. I chose Brazil because back in the day, I thought women were either quote unquote like smart. When I say smart, I mean they were like book smart and like they had some problem solving in general, like whatever intelligence, like American women, but they were very masculine, or they were very feminine and loving, but absolutely retarded, as in the case with girls from Medellin. In Brazil, I found the best of both. I found them to be capable, problem-solving, efficient, like thinking adults, kind of like American chicks, but also super feminine and sweet and loving and submissive to the right guy, not submissive in general. I say that with respect to Brazilian women, but all those characteristics as well. So to have like the best of both. And I got tired of like the dumb whores in Colombia, so I went for more sophisticated, good women in Brazil. Okay. Next question. Do you offer mentorship or one-on-one consulting? Yes, I do. $500 an hour. If you buy like a package, you want to get like maybe 4 hours, I would just charge you for 3. I'd give you like a full hour for free, and then maybe, give you some extra goodies like courses and stuff. Does it really matter if I'm Canadian or the US if I become an influencer? Okay, you're counting your chickens before they hatch, bro. If you were a super popular, famous, really charismatic influencer, would it matter? Could you still get girls in America? Well, even if you could get girls in America, in that case, they may just be masculine girls you wouldn't want. So like, let's just start there, right? They may not be girls that you would even want. So that's a big one. And then number 2, you're not an influencer yet, and you're talking about something that's extremely hard to get. So I wouldn't worry about it yet. I'm gonna go for Glory Boys and go back to my old webcam. I had the light on. Let's see if it okay. Any problems, I'll just go back to my other webcam, but it has an internal light and I turned it off, so that's probably why I overheated it. If I paid you for private consulting, would you be able to find my perfect girlfriend based on my taste? That depends on you, my friend. That depends entirely on you as much as it does for me. No one on the planet will help you find a girlfriend better than me, because no one has the same resume that I do in terms of the results and receipts that they can post, given my body, right? Given like my very average looks, or maybe like, super, super good looking guys that get good looking chicks, but there's no like average to below average guys that look like me consistently posting receipts with 8.5s and 9s. And also there's nobody teaching it on the level that I am in terms of like using automation, using virtual assistants, running ads in all types of ways, like removing yourself from the equation, saving your time, and just, like I said, nerding out on this. There's no one else that's on my level. And if you put it this way, if you're not completely unreasonable, we can get you an amazing girlfriend. But that depends. Like, are you a 60-year-old obese man who's really shy and has a weird vibe around people, and you want like a perfect 10 in New York City? No, I can't get that for you. No one can. But if you're like, okay, I'm an average guy, I'm in decent shape, I just want a girl that's like an 8, 8.5, I'm willing to travel a little bit, go to overseas markets, then yeah, no problem. I do this. That's what I do, on a daily basis. No one wants to go to Mexico. Yeah, it's just, here's the thing, dude. I love Mexican people. I love Mexican women. It's just where all the expats are and like the fun shit to do in my good network is Mexico City. And unfortunately, as we talked about it, that's where the ugliest girls are. So that's my issue with Mexico. But like, if I had a good network that wanted to do like Guadalajara for like a month or 2 months, I need to go there because I'm forgetting my Spanish too. It's being replaced by my Portuguese. Ali Sotillo says, "Hi Casey, do you currently have a short form video editor for YouTube channel?" No, and I don't need one. Okay, cool. All right. Veracruz, yeah. A lot of beautiful women from Mexico that I've met have been from Veracruz. I think there's a lot of like morenas down there as well. What's my lay count? I stopped counting at 100 lays in 2014. 10 years have passed since 2014. I would estimate it at about, gosh, let's see if I did 50 a year. No, that's too many. I'm not doing one a week. I would do one every 2 weeks. So 25 a year. So 350 roughly. I would put it about 350. Yeah, Veracruz. Okay, boom. So we have 2 upvotes for Veracruz. Let me see. Okay. Obviously, I want to date Instagram models who are 9s and 10s. I see almost every other game guy content with 6s. Yeah, dude. That's kind of unreasonable. You're gonna have to. Again, I don't know what you look like. Maybe post your Instagram, but like, dude, you're gonna have to hardcore get in the gym and maybe take some supplements. You know what I mean by take supplements, the only kind of supplements that actually really work for bodybuilding and putting on serious muscle. You may have to take supplements, which comes with their own set of problems. Totally upgrade the wardrobe, the fashion, really, really build the confidence in the game and the personality and the social skills, become extremely well connected, run 4 Instagram accounts with 4 full-time assistants, each paying $700 a month to each one. You're spending $2,800 a month on this. You're buying super boosts and likes and more. You're experimenting with different markets. You have a guy who's managing all this. I mean, dude, if you're willing to go to that level, yes. But what you guys got to understand is like, just be happy with a 7, 7.5. These girls are already so beautiful. And like a 7 or 7.5 is like the hottest girl in the room in 99% of the rooms that she ever walks into. And not everyone has to be like a super superficial fucker like me. And, I'm not really like trying to do this to like, keep score too much or anything, but I am a dating coach and, it does help my content and stuff. But you gotta understand, like, you're going for something on a level of difficulty that you guys don't really understand. Again, it's different. If you're 6'2" and gorgeous, looks play a lot. Any dating coach that tells you looks and genetics isn't an overwhelmingly, important factor in this, is lying to you, is just outright, they're just outright lying to you. So if you are one of those 6'2" gorgeous guys, that's fine. But for the other 99% of us, and rich, if you're not rich and 6'2" and gorgeous, and even if you are, and even if you're pretty damn good looking and make pretty damn good money, to date a true 9 or 10, you guys just don't understand the level of difficulty that's involved. You just don't, period. I'm sorry. You do not understand the level of everybody wants these girls, and there are so very few of them. It would be like if there was an outbreak of a new virus, like an actual virus, not when like the government, whatever, I won't even get into it, but like if there was an actual, like, you should be scared of this, like a zombie flesh-eating outbreak virus that literally turned you into a zombie, and there was only 1,000 vaccinations worldwide to go around for the entire population of the earth, and you're like, little me, Casey Redbeard, who's staying, on Antonio Street in Torrance, California with his family for the week. He he wants one of these like 1,000 vaccines that's spread amongst a population of 6 billion people. Like it's so hard. Everyone wants these girls. They're so entitled. They know that they're beautiful, and they can have any guy in the world that they want. They could have anything that they want, any guy, anything that they want. So why would they choose you? It's really, really difficult. Where do you plan on raising your children when you have them? That's a good question. It'd be South Florida or Brazil. Be like maybe Sao Paulo or somewhere, Sao Paulo, however you pronounce it, Sao Paulo. I can't even pronounce it that well. Portuguese is tough. It'll either be there or a combination of there and somewhere in like, South Florida. I cannot raise kids in like a woke city. I cannot live in a woke city, but that's actually kind of a problem. I don't really know where I want to live long term, and I do want to have kids soon. So it's kind of an issue. Alex again. Well, Alex is really getting his money's worth on this free stream. Oh yeah, what are your thoughts on cold approach? I noticed that the volume just isn't there in my city. There's still girls to approach depending on the day. I think cold approach is one of the most amazing things in the world for confidence building, for learning about female psychology, for building your social skills, for I think I already talked about this, increasing your confidence, your ability to relate and understand and make connections with people. But as far as like hardcore getting results, it just tends to, again, there's like elite level guys who have dedicated themselves and they've broken free of this mold. But for the rest of us, it generally tends to get you girls roughly at about your level of looks or slightly better, unless perhaps you're throwing in like, going to a foreign dating market. So what I mean by that is this. If it's cold approach, unless it's like a miracle, you're most likely like, if you're a 5, your cold approaches are probably only going to work on girls that are about a 5 to a 6, maybe a 7, right? If you're a 7, it'll work on other 7s, maybe the odd 8, and it'd be very hard for it to work on a 9. It generally gets you girls within what your superficial, looks ranking would be, because you're so like forced into like making this like charismatic, fun, short conversation. You don't have time. You don't really have time. Like on a social media profile, I can show off that I give marketing talks in front of 200 people on stage, or I have this amazing social life, or I can show off my funny, charming videos, and every video has the best comedic timing, and everything is like crafted, and it's designed like a sales page, like a direct response digital marketing sales page. Every video and every photo is touched up and perfectly crafted, and all the content to make me come off a certain way, literally resume building. Versus like cold approach, I don't care who you are, you take 2 or 3 days off, you're rusty again, you're nervous again. Your first 2 or 3 approaches a day are always like throwaways until you get in a social state. Like you just said, the volume isn't there. If I could consistently walk out of my house and just see an unlimited supply of friendly 10s that were strolling about, not in a hurry and had nothing better to do with their time, then let me step up and take my stab at them. Yeah, cold approach would be great. In most cases, like I said, it just gets you, 6s and 7s, and you can't even really, there's like, it's time consuming. It's not a good ROI on your time, but it's a fantastic resource for building social skills. That's my thoughts on cold approach. King Kareem says, since you're visiting Miami, do you have 9s and 10s set up to hang out with down there? No, dude, I don't fuck girls in the US anymore. Maybe I should do like, just to prove all the haters. Because if I made a Hinge right now or a Tinder, I'd start matching with like good looking chicks in America. I'd start matching with 7.5s, the occasional 8, like on dating apps, right? As a guy who's objectively like, a 5 out of 10, that's pretty impressive, because most guys get 0 on the dating apps, right? No, dude. Again, I don't know, like King Kareem, bro. God bless you, but you don't get it, bro. And I don't mean to be a dick. Like, I didn't get it for the longest time. You don't get it. Nobody else gets it. And again, I'm not trying to pick on you or be a dick. So you're visiting Miami. Do you have 9s and 10s set up to hang out? You just asked me if I have like the cure for cancer. No, I don't have 9s and 10s that you said to hang out with. Okay, I'm assuming I'm changing hang out with to being like I'm dating them, like I'm sleeping with them, bro. Do you have any idea what the level of difficulty it takes to get a 9 or a 10 in Miami? If I want to get a pretty girl from Doral or Hialeah, that's a 7.5 from Cuba, been in the country years, fat ass, pretty face, an all around like a pretty girl. Yeah, I could do that. But you said a 9 or 10, bro. These girls that you see like the quality of like the bottle service waitresses, or the girls you see in like she could be in a beauty pageant. These girls are looking for celebrities and athletes. Again, they're the especially Miami. Anywhere in the world they're looking for celebrities and athletes, but in Miami it's all status. I would have to have not even a Lamborghini would impress them, bro. I'd have to have like what's the $5 million car, like the Bugatti, and be young and be gorgeous and be rich and have some status. Or here's the thing, like, or just have insane status. Or I could like, be 5'9", Uber everywhere, not even own a car, but I'm like a known, I don't know, actor, NBA player, something like that. Again, this is just what, yeah, no one really gets it, man. A true niner. Okay, let's see. Let's be honest here. Just say yes or no to the following question. I want to see the chat fill up with yes or no's. Put yes, and I'll know which one of you guys are fucking lying, but it should be all no's. But put yes or no to this question. Which one of you in the chat has legitimately dated on multiple dates, slept with, had like at least a nice romantic fling with a true 9 or 10 without paying for it? Fuck it. Even if you've just slept with a 9 or 10, if you've slept even one time with a true 9 or 10 without paying for it off of any source, game, social circle, dating app, whatever it is, again, an actual legit 9 or 10, put a yes in the chat. Otherwise, put a no. And let's see what comes up. No, yes, no. We got 3 responses, 1 yes, 2 no's. Alex is probably not even a 7. I'll answer more questions and we'll come back to that. Well, we got a lot of questions. I'm gonna go through these more quickly because I'm being long-winded in my typical fashion here. Okay. Latinas and Asians for the win. Yes, I agree. Colombia is a landmine with a number of escorts right now. Yeah, like the landmine, it's really, really bad. The 9s and 10s tend to be pay for play most places you go. Dumb whores is a great description of Colombian women. Yeah, look, dude, ban me, cancel me, send the fucking woke police after me. It is what it is. You build the biggest brothel in the world and get mad when passport bros want to come down there to fuck all the dumb, beautiful hookers. But like, it's your own culture. Like, we didn't make it that way. And this is why every YouTuber who like, I'm all bullish on Medellin and I'm the Medellin YouTuber and oh, it's so amazing. 2, 3, 4 years later, they're done. They're all talking shit. They moved on. They went to God knows other XYZ city or country, and they all hate it. It's a thing. How many times would you get hateful comments from women and beta male simps? From women, almost never, and from beta male simps on a daily basis. How much for hair transplant? Where? How was the experience? Okay, so this is 6 months. So if I do this, you guys can clearly see how it's like not as thick, right? Like right here, you guys can see where like thick, like full head of hair, and here is a lot more patchy. This is 6 months. By 8, 9 months, this in theory, fucking I hope to God, should be completely healed in. Assuming let's say it's filled in by like month 9 or 10, it will be the longest 9 or 10 months of my life. It was $3,000 and I got it done in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Like we just talked about, it's about 9 months to see good or full results. It looks perfect when they first do it for about a month. Then all the hair falls out and then you cry. And also you got to put in this shit called minoxidil and finasteride. You can take the pills, but I like the topical for less side effects every day for the rest of your life, or you lose your hair. What do you think of RSD? I love RSD. They're my good friends. RSD Tyler or Owen Cook is a good friend of mine. Actually, I might visit him now that I'm out here in LA. And old school RSD Todd is another good friend of mine. Hey, what's up, Super Connector Steven? Steven's the guy who I always show off because he's the only person brave enough to let me use his photos as a testimonial. Suleiman says, if I want to get started, should I buy your course or should I hire you directly? Talk to me on Instagram. Because here's the thing, dude. Like I said, if you buy if you want to get some consulting, it doesn't cost me any extra money. Just give you the course. Like it's a digital course. Like I poured my life into it and, many sleepless nights and whatever to get it recorded and make it the best thing. And I'm actually constantly updating. Actually, there's a couple of courses I've been meaning to update as I learn more stuff. But now that it's a digital product, I can just give it to you. And yeah, just message me, Suleiman. We'll work something out. I'll make sure that you're happy. I've never had a refund or a unhappy customer yet. I don't intend to make you the first. Did you have issues in Brazil till you learned the language? Yeah. It just kind of sucks. And my Portuguese isn't great. It's definitely good. Like I could call girls on video call, and if they're not actually gonna be low IQ, they'll have the wherewithal to like speak a little bit more slowly and da 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 da, and understand I'm a foreigner. And it's like no problem. Like it's hard for me to quantify it. I mean, imagine you trying to have a conversation with like a 9-year-old boy. Like you wouldn't have any, like his vocabulary may be not that good. He may not, like understand like super big complex words, but like you could talk to a 9-year-old. That's a bad analogy, I guess, but like you get what I'm trying to say. Like it's good enough to communicate. And I did have issues until I learned it, and it was annoying. And I hate Google Translator dates, whatever. 44 Unda says, get your teeth fixed too. Yeah, they're kind of yellow. It's also like have like a yellow light, like a yellow spectrum light facing me. But yeah, I've been meaning to do it, bro. Thanks for reminding me. Is there a set amount I can pay you and we can work? Yeah, dude, like totally. Yeah, we just message me on Instagram, guys. We don't need to talk about this in front of people, but yes, absolutely. I have a one guy basically paid me $5K to have unlimited access to me. Like he can just call me out of the blue, send voice notes, demand my time, get one-on-one coaching anytime he wants. I gave him a few months of that for $5K. That's like an example of this. Or we could do something much less and just break it into, 30 minutes a week. Every Friday we talk for 30 minutes and you're following the course and, whatever at the same time. So Super Connector Steven says, I took Casey's Instagram photography rockstar program. I was getting 10 book dates a week. Yeah. Steven got amazing results. He had some fun in Cali. If Steven ever maybe Steven and I will do a live stream on that if he ever wants to talk about it. There may be things that his mother wouldn't like it if I mentioned it live on YouTube, but Steven and I can talk if he wants to. I'll respect hold back. But let's just say Steven had some fun in Cali. The profile was a success. Hey, bro, where was that one city in Brazil where the girls look like Medellin Paisas? That was Goiânia. I'll type it in the chat. Goiânia. Oh, sorry. Well, Goiânia. And also the north in general, like Belém. So Goiânia is one of these cities where like they're like all beautiful, but they're kind of like rednecks, and it's not like it's a super boring city. But beautiful girls. But like the north in general, Belém, Belem, pronounced Belen as if it was an N, is going to have very ethnically looking Colombian and Venezuelan women. And if I'm not mistaken, someone could look at Belém, like not actually Belém, but like it's, well, that general area, you have to go a bit further east of Belém, but that area literally borders with Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken. Alex says, yeah, you're right, Casey. I gotta get my shit together. I've lost 20 pounds since we last talked. Oh, wow. What does it take to get the 9s and 10s? I'm serious. Okay. I'll give a short tutorial how to get the 9s and 10s. Create a super baller social media, like we've talked about, having fun with friends, travel, high value activities, jet skis, giving a speech to a room full of people, well-dressed, good network, out to dinner, friends and family, funny videos, charming video content, etc. Make 4 of those, just post the same content to all 4, get 4 different virtual assistants, play an insane numbers game, Because here's the thing, right? If you were to print out a picture of my face and go around Miami and start showing it to girls, to tens, and say, hey, what do you think of my friend? Do you think he's a hot guy? 99% would say no. And 1% would say, oh, yeah, he's like a model. He's super gorgeous. What's his name? Right? Maybe 1 in 1,000, actually, right? But the point is, like, you play a large enough numbers game. And here's the thing, right? Get your physique up to the point where you could confidently post a shirtless photo and like you look good. Like there's no, like, if you have to ask like, well, is my physique there yet? Do I look good? No, then you're not there yet. Get like your physique at least to a place where, like, by all standards, you don't even need to ask, you look good with your shirt off, make good money, play a numbers game with that baller social media and outsourcing your virtual assistants, and look at easier dating markets. Get the fuck out of Canada. Go to places like we talk about, the small town strategy. Go to these places, these cities outside of Cartagena, for example, Colombia, where the men literally engage in acts of intimacy with donkeys. And then you're the only guy in that city who's not engaging in acts of intimacy with donkeys. And you seem like a rock star. And this, 19, 20-year-old girl barely got on Instagram yet, doesn't even know how beautiful she is or the power is. And like, you're in their small town. And like I said, you could have assistants, on Tinder. You can, go to like Sao Paulo and like fly the girls in from like the interior of Sao Paulo, like in all these other like small cities. Or you could be in Bogota and flying girls in from random parts of Colombia from the small cities, so that you're not going to them, but they're going to you. That's what I would say. But also, dude, like, keep in mind, like, I guess it's just normal to want 9s. I was going to ask you, like, why do you even really want a 9 or 10? But like, I guess it's normal. I don't really need to ask that because you're a straight heterosexual man. But just understand the difficulty. Understand what you're getting into, man. Understand that you want one of the most difficult things that everybody wants. Yeah, just to wrap up on that question, Alex, you said like, I've never gotten a 9 or 10, probably not even a legit 7. So you haven't even gotten a legit 7 yet. And you said this, not me, but you're asking me how to get 9s and 10s. I hope now you're seeing the level of difficulty. You would never make a drastic change in any area of your life without a drastically different strategy or a drastically different work ethic, right? Like, you wouldn't just be like, yeah, I've been a skinny fuck in the gym. I'm, 5'11" and 140 pounds. And I want to be, 205 pounds, ripped at 8% body fat. And I've been training for 5 years. Well, you're going to need a drastically different plan. Again, you're going to need a lot of supplements. You're going to need to, train for 2-3 hours a day. You're going to need to hire the best trainers. You're going to eat to the point where you're going to get gastritis and stomach problems because you're eating so much. Like, it just, if you want to get to these, elite levels in anything, it's going to take just a drastically different strategy than, what you've been doing. C. Lastinger says, starting off on my digital nomad arc, looking for a wife type while traveling. Any tips to find like-minded guys when in new locations? Just Instagram. You could try the Passport Bro Facebook groups, although most of those guys are just scrubs that do a pay for play. Not that I judge that. Listen, that's not what I talk about. That's not what this channel is here to promote. I promote respectfully going for other countries for, actual dating and relationships and love. I have nothing bad to say, whatever, but I'm just saying, like, that's typically what you get in these Passport Bro groups. There's nothing pathetic about doing pay for play, but it's just not what this channel's about. You could try the Passport Bro groups. You can try local digital nomad groups. Every major city has like a foreigners group in it. There's a digital nomads group for Manila, Philippines. There's a digital nomad group for everything. I would do things like, try to get in Austin Holloman's inner circle. Try to get into, like, buy your way into people's inner circles, right? Try to get into, like, okay, for example, if you buy my course, it comes with a free Telegram chat. There's 50 other guys who have paid $1,000 for a course. Half of them are also Passport Bros. So boom, you bought access to my inner circle, buy access to Austin Holloman's inner circle. There could even be, there was an old entrepreneurs group called the Dynamite Circle. Most of those guys were pretty much losers and pathetic from a social standpoint. They had very, very poor social skills, but like Dynamite Circle would be an example of one of these, like, entrepreneurial groups that you have to pay to get in. I would say find someone who's already done the networking for you. My buddy and Connor has a group called Bali Wolves. So if you want to go to Bali, I could put you in contact with Connor. I think you pay like $500 one time, and boom, you got access to 40 other people who also had a spare $500 to pay for to be on the same mission that you're looking for. So boom, $500, you're part of Bali Wolves, right? I had one called Medellin Social. Like that's another, like, that's what I would say is like find someone who's done the networking for you. A guy who sells Passport Bro courses or personal branding courses or Instagram courses or online dating courses, and just pay to be part of their communities and take advantage of someone who's already built a network for you. Miami 9 and 10 looking for serious paper. Yeah, absolutely. No offense taken, my brother. Give it to me straight. Just had to ask. Cool. Yeah, Alex, you've already asked how to get 9s and 10s like 10 times. Okay, so now we're getting no, not even a 7. Okay, so just going back to that question earlier, we had like 5 people answer the question if they pulled a 9 or 10, 5 or 6. All of them said no, except for 2 people. So let's say we had 4 no's and 2 yeses. And like, no offense, but like I highly doubt that. And someone says picked one up once with my fiance. Okay, cool. So you picked one up once, or pick one. No, you didn't say once. Picked one up with my fiance. Whatever. Yeah. JM2 says yeah. The majority of 9s and 10s. JM2 says the majority of 9s and 10s sell box. Yeah, I put out a video on this. Actually, turned out to be one of my most viral videos of all time. I did a vlog with Fresh Sprint CEO when I was in Miami, because every time I fly back to Los Angeles, that's where I'm at right now, visiting my parents. I always connect through Miami and spend the day with him. We did a vlog about this exact topic, and he wholeheartedly agrees. And 80% of the comments agreed, and there was like 20% of people coping like, no, that's not true. Most of the 9s and 10s are not selling box. That can't be. And it's like, dude, sorry to like. This is what I'm talking about, right? For you even for you even see a 9 or a 10 on a dating app, at an exclusive party, at an exclusive nightclub, anywhere, day game is already rare. For her not to be selling the box, not to be on OnlyFans, now you're like incredibly rare. For her to like you, be single in the first place, be willing to date a guy who's not a multimillionaire. Like nobody in this chat is a multimillionaire. Or if you are, raise your hand. We should work together one-on-one because you can afford it. But like, how do you even see them? Of the ones you could even find, what the fuck are the odds that they would like you out of them being able to get any guy on the planet? Aside from that, how many of them would you not want because they sell box on the side currently, or they're on OnlyFans, or they used to? Aside from that, how many of them have a good personality? Aside from that, how many of them are willing to jump off the cock carousel of free vacations and free this and that, any free drugs, anything they want, free parties, free private jets, and give it all up for you? And then what percentage, are between a certain age? What percentage have the level of intelligence, femininity, personality, look you want, etc.? So it's a tough one, man. But it's something that I realized when I get on these free sales calls. That's the main thing. It's like I get very few people that are like, come up to me with almost any other issues. Like most of you guys can already get girls, but it's just like the 9s and 10s is what seems to elude you guys. Do you think that Brazil would ever get ruined like Colombia by the Passport Bros? Possibly. It'll happen in Rio first. Rio will be the first city to get kind of like an anti-gringo thing. But the thing is, the answer is no. It'll take forever because Brazil is like way further out and way more difficult and way more expensive to get to. Portuguese just throws a wrench in everything because nobody wants to fucking learn Portuguese. It's a super difficult language. They're going to start requiring a visa for Americans to come. That's like 50-50. It's not an easy dating market. It's expensive. And it's also just so big that we have so many cities to go to. We could go to Fortaleza, we could go to Floripa, we could go to Manaus, Belém. Like Manaus and Belém will not be ruined by Passport Bros if ever. Like we have like minimum, 10 years. Sao Paulo, Rio could start getting a somewhat negative blowback. But again, if you start seeing it in the media, like feminists on Twitter are against these so-called, passport bros, and oh, they're so bad. You start seeing it in the news, for it to trickle down to like the common Brazilian woman who actually has a negative perception of us, could take quite a while. So no, I think Brazil's immune for a while. Easier to date 7s and 8s, get them in gym and put a pair of enhanced tits. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, yeah, that's probably what I might do, bro. Is on like just find a beautiful girl that's just, yeah, she's got absolutely no tits, or she needs a BBL or something. I mean, I have the resources, bro. Like I should have the resources so the business keeps going well, where I could literally justify, paying 4 virtual assistants, and they're just scouring the fucking earth of every small city, and I'm like giving a commission structure. A lot of you guys just assume I'm doing like super well because I'm like Casey Redbeard on the internet, and oh, I'm an influencer and I got 5K followers and I hang out with Fresh and Fit. I'm not doing nearly as well as those guys. I'm not doing that well at all. I can't afford 3,000 a month for 2,000 a month for 2 or 3 or 4 different virtual assistants. Like, and also it'd be a lot of my time to manage it. But like, listen, assuming that, I mean, look, the channel's adding 500 to 1,000 subscribers a month. If that keeps going a year and a half, I should be good. I'm also coming up with a lot of new products and new courses and new ways to help you guys. And if the money gets up, I should be able to put in the resources to find a legit, 9 or 10. I did it before. I dated Lana. I have a lot of receipts with Lana. I've dated a true 10 before that did content with me. I have all the spicy pictures and videos to prove it. I could show our whole Instagram conversations and how we initially met to prove it, how it started, and it wasn't like, any type of pay for play anything. I think it's just obvious from our chemistry and the fact she's in my videos too. And she's like a legit like lawyer at like a law firm. Okay. How are you learning Portuguese classes? Yeah, take classes, making flashcards, reading websites and making flashcards. Like I'll literally just type into Google. I'll put this into Portuguese, like, why is everybody stupid? Or how to make more sales, how to make a well-designed sales funnel, or like a news article, anything I can find in Portuguese. And I have this app called Anki Card installed, and I literally just long press on a word that I don't understand, and it makes a flashcard of that word. And then I go back and study the flashcards. I'm a very visual learner. Someone could tell me like, oh, how do you say sidewalk? It's like, oh my God, causada, causana. It has something. It sounds like the word pants, which are calças, but it's not. If anyone knows the Portuguese word for sidewalk, put it in the chat. But it's like caus something. But I saw it written once, and it helped me a lot. Versus like if somebody just says it auditorily, like, oh, how do you say? If it's an obvious word, like I don't know, some words are cognates, like computer is computadora. I think that's what it is in Spanish. Is it the same in Portuguese? But anyway, if it's like a random word, I need to like see it written. I don't just like, I can't just learn it by saying, oh, how do you say this word? Oh, you said it. Like photographic audio memory, I got it. I need to see it written. So flashcards and visual aids are huge for me. And then a lot of classes, dating girls. You date girls that only speak Portuguese. It kind of forces you, right? I'm glad when the IG DMs give the option to translate. Yeah, that new AI shit is cool. Gilgamesh, Passport Bros didn't ruin Medellin. So I'm split on this. More Americans going down to Medellin did give Americans a bad name, and it made dating there impossible, and it made the small percentage of girls that aren't like totally retarded sex working idiots not want to date gringos. But at the same time, they have a pretty downright terrible culture themselves, and they're pretty dumb anyway. But I will say, like, if Passport Bros had never come to Medellin, like we could go there now if we were like the first ones, and we could find those beautiful English speaking, sophisticated, non-sex working, like that small population, and they would just like line up for us. But the gringo reputation has been kind of damaged. But at the same time, it's like Colombia's kind of a shithole country anyway. So it's like, did we ruin it, or was it already ruined? Relocate. Actually, advice, I've been underestimating the effort needed to meet my dating goals and not applying the right strategy. Obviously, yeah, dude, it's just and again, like, here's the thing. You keep saying you want a 9, you want a 9, a 10, a 9, a 10. Again, that's normal. But when you go to these, I talk about my small town strategy, that doesn't solve all your issues. first of all, the girls there, it's a global market. They can be just as difficult. But even if you do get those girls, like these little like farming podunk town girls, how much are you going to have in common with them? Right. Like, sometimes I'm like on a date with these girls that I pluck from a small town, and it's like pulling teeth. I'll take a natural 7 with personality and a good one in Nicki meant to say bed. Yeah. Back in college, she ended up messing with the football team right after, got married to some rich guy. Okay. I think he's talking about some like 9 or 10 you pulled, right? How much of the course, and does it cover Instagram and virtual assistant strategies? So it's $1,000 US, $997 to be exact. And yeah, it covers everything. The old name is Online Dating Rockstar. I'm changing the name to the 4-week automated dating system, or the 4-week automated dating machine, one of those titles. And I already have the modules like shot, and they're already in there. But I just need to organize, because it's kind of like, here's a texting course, and here's a photography course, and here's a video course. I want to just like, again, all the content's already there, but I'm going to reorganize it. Like, okay, this is week 1. Week 1, we plan our photo shoots. We go to these websites. We're looking for these specific looks. This is where you get your blazers. These is where you get your shirts. This is how you plan where you're going to take your photos. This is how you can practice posing, etc. Boom. Find a photographer. Then week 2, we're actually, taking the photos. Week 3, maybe we're doing the video content. And then week 4, we're automating it all with the virtual online dating assistant. And it's designed within like 4 weeks. You go from like, if you never had an Instagram, you had a shitty Instagram, to, the perfect high status, attractive Instagram with the photos, the videos, the lifestyle all on there, and the automation. I know guys that have done this in, even much less. Steven got it done. And I helped Steven. We did it in like a week. We got everything done. And yeah, there's a full course for virtual assistants in there. My whole texting funnel, my first date strategy, not getting flaked on. I mean, dude, there's so much stuff in there. I just keep adding on, because anytime I have a question in my Telegram chat, if it's like a good question, I'm like, oh, that should be part of the course. Boom, I go film the module. So I just keep uploading like all these like niche things, like, like, I guess it's not a niche problem, but like how to not get flaked on or something like that, right? What classification system makes a woman a 9 or a 10? I mean, look, dude, if I type into Google like 9 out of 10 gorgeous girl, like the ones that are universally beautiful to everyone, I would say, because if a girl's like Latina, gorgeous face, long hair, perfect smile, big tits, big ass, but she's like really brown, really short, and just ever so slightly a little bit chubby, that's not a problem for me, but that's a problem for a lot of people. Versus like, we could all pull up, girls that like we could all agree universally are 9s, and like Lana, like, 5'7", 5'8", tiny waist, huge tits, huge ass, no cellulite, in shape, toned body, speaks English, gorgeous face, big eyes, white teeth, perfect smile, speaks English, lawyer, got her own money, super feminine, super submissive, bisexual, like highest sex drive girl I've ever met. Like, we could agree that that's a 10, right? I think when you get to that point, that's what it is. You know what, Casey? I didn't realize how bad big tats look on girls. I've seen so many hot girls on IG with tats, and they look terrible with them. Such a turnoff, bro. Story of my life. I'm swiping in Manaus right now. I'm gonna live in Manaus, which is like the Amazon state of the. It's the Amazon. It's the Amazon. It's a city. It's like an actual city with like buildings and stuff. But it's in the Amazon rainforest of Brazil. And bro, it's like mandatory that these idiots have tattoos. I can't fucking stand it, dude. I can't fucking stand it. I'll like, I don't want to like give some girl's identity. Maybe I'll see if I can like somehow take a screenshot and like not show, but like I'll show this girl, beautiful girl. You guys be like, damn, like fucking, again, talking about like 9s or 10s. I found it. I'm going to try to block her identity. It's going to try to, okay, cool. I don't think you can see any details here now. Let me just crop that out. Again, it's not, I'd have to scroll through like more of her photos. Here, we'll just show. Yeah, okay, I'll just show these two. And again, I don't want anybody in the chat saying like, well, for my personal preference and based on the angle, I would say, I don't want to hear it. Like, this is a beautiful girl, so shut the fuck up if she's not like perfect to you. But I'm saying this would be like what I would call like pretty much like a top level girl. I'm gonna remove the blur for a second. You guys can see my bedroom, but okay, so this is the girl. I'm going to try to get it in focus better. And of course, it doesn't want to focus. It wants to focus on me. Okay, I think I finally got it to kind of focus. Yeah, just trust me, it's not focusing, and I've seen more photos of her. Beautiful girl. Again, I know it didn't really focus or anything. My type, you know, Latina, brown. But look at this. Look at this eyesore. Again, it's wanting to focus on me. I'm hoping it's kind of at least somewhat. But again, I'm sorry if it's not focusing right or whatever. But like, can you guys see like that horrible eyesore on her ass? And like the thing that I tell my virtual assistant, it's like, you know, overlook it for like just insanely hot girls. I think that was like what he determined to be an insanely hot girl, and he overlooked it. But I really hate when tattoos are on intimate areas, and like when it's on your ass. Like, okay, some tattoos on your arms, I fucking hate that shit, but I could maybe overlook that and date a girl for a little while. She can never be wifey, but I could maybe overlook that for a bit. But like when you have a big tattoo like in between your tits or on your tits or on your ass or on your thighs in these intimate areas, oh my god. Yeah, date the ass by the tits. Yeah, I could agree with that. Okay, I'll blur my background again. Just looks a little better. Okay. Any other countries you recommend find wifey material women? I'm bullish on Brazil, man. And I've said this before. Good combination of intellectual, independent, smart, hardworking, while not sacrificing their femininity and their lovingness at all. Like, imagine she's like a career woman, orthodontist, whatever, super, super driven career woman, but she like also is like super, super feminine and loving and submissive. You don't really see that in too many other countries. Usually you sacrifice one for the other. And another thing about Brazil is it's like 9 countries in one. You have all like the white Barbie looking girls in the south. You have the girls, like I said, about the north in Belém. They're Venezuelan and Colombian looking ethnically. You have these weird random cities in the middle of nowhere called Goiânia, where they're just like all beautiful and they look like Pisces from Medellin. There's something for everyone. There's unlimited big cities. There's unlimited small towns. There's like 220 million people. I'm really bullish on Brazil. I can't say enough good things about Brazilian women. I really, really do love Brazilian women. Where's a good place to find educated Latin women? Brazil. Brazil and Mexico, honestly, and Spain, I guess. Brazil, Mexico, Spain, perhaps Chile, perhaps Argentina. And to be honest, Venezuela. They had the best education anywhere in Latin America up until around 2013 when everything started collapsing. Was it 2013? I forget what year it was. Someone can put it in the chat, but it was around like 2013, 14, Venezuela started collapsing and everything went to shit. But that like really good education kind of stuck around. They're orders of magnitude smarter than Colombians. But yeah, I would say to repeat Brazil, Spain, Mexico, Argentina, Venezuela would be my guess. Someone can put in the chat if they think they have other ideas. I'm admitting right now, I do not like gringos here in general. Yeah, but this is the thing. You're a gringo there, bro. You're a fucking gringo. I never got this like, it's okay if I'm here, but I don't want any other gringos to be here. I never really got that, but whatever. Do you find more success running Instagram/Facebook ads or using your process of finding girls on Instagram and seeing if they follow back and messaging them? It really depends on the market, but yes, the hot girls, the hottest girls typically don't raise their hand. They don't like photos. They don't like stories, and they certainly don't respond via message to story ads. Again, if this was Medellin in 2014, 2015, and you're a 6'5", gorgeous man, yes, you may get legit 8.5s and 9s messaging you. Sure, every market's different. Times change quickly. I think actually Medellin's also overrun with other gringos running ads. But in general, again, speaking generalities here, outbound works on the 9s and 10s, meaning like inbound would be like they're in some way like raising their hand, like they liked the photo or they sent the message or something like that. Typically only outbound works on the 8.5s and the 9s and above, which is like you message them, you follow them, you outreach to them. Like the first contact is you outreaching to them, not them making any prior contact with you. And also in Brazil, dude, I don't know why, but like it's unfortunate when I run ads there, mostly just ugly girls like my photos and like my stuff. And like there's beautiful girls. I don't know why like the hot ones just, I don't know, like you would like I would spend $20 to boost a reel. I'm getting likes for like pennies, like literal actual pennies per like. I'm getting so many of them. I spent $20 and like very few hot girls even liked it. But I don't know. I could play with that strategy again. Different guys judge women differently and see difference. So how do you yourself personally tell the difference between an 8 and a 10? It doesn't matter. It doesn't look. The only thing that matters is like if you have a vested interest in like showing off her beauty for profit, like maybe I do on this channel. But like here's what I'm saying, right? Like if I was to go through like my me with girls, let's actually do this. I'm gonna pick a specific girl. I want everyone to rate this girl in the chat, and you guys can just watch like. I'm gonna pick a good girl. Okay. Sure. I'm just picking out a photo here. Fuck it. Let's just start with we'll do a couple, right? And this is and this goes to my point about what I was saying earlier about like why numbers is such a big thing, because watch how all of us are going to disagree on this girl. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's call her Rio girl. So you guys can put like for your we'll do other girls. So just type the word Rio, like RIO, so we know what girl you're dating. So this girl from Rio, put in the chat RIO and then the number. Rio 8, Rio 9, Rio 10, Rio 7, whatever you think this girl is. And she has a really nice ass, and she has like perky, perfect B cup tits, and like a fat like yoga instructor, but like bigger than like a yoga instructor. I mean, you can't really tell from here, but let's just go on like what you can see here. She's got a fat ass, trust me. So we'll rate the Rio girl, and then let's do another one. You can put Rio, and then let's this girl's actually from Manaus. I did a vlog with her. I'll play a video. The video may be choppy, but you guys can start with her. Just put like M for this girl. So you'll rate the Rio girl first, and then the girl from Manaus. So put Rio, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then M, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you think she is. I've actually gotten very drastically. I'll show her body. So this is, again, the video is probably going to play choppy. So sorry about that. You'll probably have to do your best. I'll try to like pause like key parts of the video so you guys can kind of see her figure. She got a tattoo on her leg. I fucking hated that. But this is a girl from Manaus. Yeah, she has like that cute little shyness and stuff. I don't know if you guys can see. So let's have people rate the Rio girl and the Manaus girl. Again, these girls, I both rate them like, I'd say like 8.5s. Yeah, I rate them both 8.5s. But let's watch like, the huge difference in like ratings that we get for these girls. Okay, so here we go. Let me read them to you. Stop sharing. Yeah, dude, like someone rated the Rio girl a 7. But this just proves my point. In what universe is that girl like a 7? We got 9. 9, 9, 9. Okay, so the Rio girls across the board getting like mostly 9s, a few 8s or 8.5s, and then Alex rated her a 7, and then some guy named Cage Shigi rated her a 7. But yeah, like so we got between 7s and 9s, and then Manaus girl is basically getting 8 across the board. But yeah, here's the thing: 2 people rated the Manaus girl a 6, and some people are rating the Manaus girl. Actually, a few people are rating the Manaus girl 6, 7, and she's got some 8s too. So anyway, this is just, like full blown my point. It's like if we had women rating us, we would, like be all across the board as well. Right? Damn, I can't believe. Yeah, so like some rated the Manaus girl 9 and 8.5, some rated her a 6. The Rio one did better than the Manaus girl. The Manaus girl got more 7s and 6s. And JP rated the Manaus girl a 4. Yeah, I've gotten other people that said she's like outright like ugly too. So again, the answer to your question, King Kareem, is like, it just doesn't matter. I guess the Rio girl universally was like a 9 or 8.5. Although Alex said 7.5, which again, who cares, right? Medellin is quite ghetto, correct? Trick question: does Colombia? Oh, what's up, Kobe? Kobe in the chat. Trick question: does Colombia have a hookup culture? Many people say no, but I keep running into whores who try to hide their tendencies. Or are the good girls just staying away from gringos? Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The good girls are staying away from gringos. As a gringo, you damn near cannot really penetrate these circles of like the top quality girls that aren't selling it. Even like the top quality like webcam models won't date gringos, which is like fun. It's like, dude, you're whores on the internet, but they won't like be a, but I am not a whore in real life, sir. I am only like a virtual whore. It's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, the good girls, they just legit just do not date gringos. Simple. Period. They just do not date gringos. And for the ones that do date gringos, yeah, they're all little fucking whores, dude. They're all looking for money and 2C and whatever. Daisy Chen. Is that the one that my buddy Walter had a thing with? Is it that one? That's Daisy Chen, right? Yes, I do like a big caboose. Facts, tattoos are huge. Yeah, and in a way, I kind of like tattoos because it's like, tell me you're a retard cum dumpster without telling me you're a retard cum dumpster, right? It's like she saved me the effort by like getting tattoos. Now I don't need to really like talk to her. She's told me everything I need to know about her, which is she's a retarded thought. Going to the Dominican Republic in 2 weeks. Have you been? If so, what are your thoughts on the women? You know, I've never been. I'm going to go to the DR. I've been meaning to go there. I've heard that it's not like the highest IQ, most sophisticated women there, but I've never been, so I can't say for certain. But definitely a lot of like brown big booty girls there, which I like, and I think there's some really good, sweet girls there. I've heard some success stories in the Passport Bros Facebook group. So, you know, generally, I don't think it's the highest education city, but I think there's some good women there. Would you say that it's the small town, not hometown? Would you say the small town strategy is more effective in third world countries? Or does it work everywhere? Always this, right? The smaller the town, the less high value rich guys she has access to. And therefore, you're going to seem better by comparison, and her standards are going to be lower and more realistic. There was probably a time like before Instagram where like girls from the Midwest, like true shocking, like beautiful girls from like the Midwest, like, you know, who knows, like Idaho, wherever the fucking, you know, Minnesota, whatever, Colorado. I don't even know if that is considered the Midwest, but anyway, like random cities in America, random states would have like these beautiful girls you could really clean up on. I think now during due to Instagram and stuff, they all kind of leave their small towns and go to the big cities like Miami, LA, New York, to pursue, you know, their dreams of being on the cock carousel and getting dicked down by a bunch of guys. But the ones that are still in their small towns, yeah, you'll always have an easier time with girls in a smaller city or smaller towns, because again, they're not comparing you to the millionaire playboys of the big city. Rio girl's a straight dime. Yeah, dude, she was fucking fire, bro. Rio 8, but now 7. No, neither. The Rio girl spoke a little bit of English. Yep. Someone says Daisy Chen. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I'll maybe, you know, do 1 or 2 more last questions. If someone has a burning question that you have to get answered or your life will end, speak it now, because I'm gonna end the stream in about 5 minutes or less. Ricardo T. I wonder, is this my Spanish teacher? My Spanish teacher is Ricardo T. How long did it take to learn Portuguese? So I already spoke Spanish, which is a cheat code for learning Portuguese because they're very, very similar. The grammar is extremely similar, and most of the words are very, very similar. I wouldn't even say I like quote unquote speak Portuguese that well. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but if you're asking like how long did it take to get, you know, pretty conversationally fluent, good in Portuguese, about 1.5 years. But that's coming from already speaking Spanish basically fluently. If I wasn't already pretty much basically fluent in Spanish before learning Portuguese, that would have not been the case. It takes, put it this way, to learn any language at a high degree of fluency, unless you're one of these like special savant people, it takes like a good 4 or 5 years. Okay. Well, shit, guys. I think that's it. I think we ran through all the questions. Perfect timing, because as we ran out of questions after about 2 hours is when I wanted to kind of get the fuck out of here. So thank you guys so much for being a part of it. I'll do this again sometimes. Maybe I'll do these like once a week or something like that. It's good to put out content, and I think I can make a lot of shorts or clips from this as well. You guys gave me good good content. Oh, actual education. This is our year, baby. This is our fucking year, bro. This is our fucking year. Inside joke. I'll answer one more question, then I'm going to end it. If an 8 in the US stood up and raised her hand, would you even respond to her? What do you mean by that? Like on Instagram? Like if she liked my photo or left like a thirsty comment or DM'd me, I might think she was a tranny. I might think that there's something suspicious going on, like making it too easy. But whatever. Okay, actual last question. I heard the most beautiful woman in Brazil is in Santa Catarina. Is that true? So that's the south. That's in Floripa. So Florianopolis, I think, is the city. Floripa is like the state, and Santa Catarina is either in Floripa or close by. It's the south. It's where all the blonde, blue-eyed Brazilians are, and they're just not my type. Again, if you ask any Brazilian guy, they're going to be like, "Oh, the hottest girls in Brazil are where the girls look the whitest because they're, oh, white girls, white girls." So they're gonna or Floripa. Okay, Ozzy says Floripa is the state. Yeah, something I know the two are related. But yeah, all the Brazilian guys are like, "Oh, like where the white blondes are the hottest girls." If that's your type, and look, I'm sure there's some gorgeous girls down there. They come from like German and Brazilian descent. There was like a huge German, like all the Germans went to the South apparently and brought their German genetics. So I guess if you think German girls are hot, they would be hot. And I've never been there, so I can't say for sure. But I'm leaning towards like if you're into my taste, like this is the traditional Latina, brown, big booty Latina, probably the North. Okay, actual last question. Nothing else after this is the actual last one. Have you tried day game in Brazil? Is that a thing out there? I didn't have great success with it, man. I think it's difficult in Sao Paulo because the girls have their headphones in. They're like sprinting to their next destination. They do this weird thing where they wear like their backpacks like on the front of them. So you have like this almost like shield of like a backpack. Like I said, they fucking run like cheetahs everywhere with headphones in, and everybody's late and everybody's agitated. It's like a New York vibe. And I didn't have great results, to be honest. And again, I'm only approaching like legit gorgeous women. So and I need to do more cold approach, but I'll be honest, like I get lazy. I have, so many leads from online from having, doing all the stuff that I teach, the online dating virtual assistants, the high status profile. But I'm going to start filming. I'm going to do some cold approach in Manaus. Also, you can't post cold approach on YouTube. I mean, you kind of can, but they can easily delete your channel for that stuff. That's kind of a big no-no on YouTube. So, but whatever. But yeah, cold approach is definitely a thing. But again, I'm just bigger on doing online, bro. I just think it's a better return on investment. So, okay, the stream is officially over. Thanks, guys. Until next time. Peace out.